So, I wore glasses for over a decade, wore contacts for probably 2 decades before that, maybe longer. Had LASIK last year, and so, I got out of the habit of wearing safety glasses because I just wore glasses. And even though I try to remember to wear them, I don't always do a good job of that. Well, a couple weeks ago, I was working on my truck and got a piece of tiny metal that flew into my eye. Thought I got it out. A week later, my eye turned super red. Was hurting pretty bad, so finally broke down. Went to the eye doctor. Fortunately, it came out on its own. I'm not gonna lie. What they told me they were gonna have to do, if it had not come out, was pretty nauseating to think about. So all good. Eye's not red anymore, it doesn't hurt, so thankful for that. So last night, I got home from this ministry that I'm going through. It's called Regeneration through Watermark. It's basically a recovery ministry. People do it for all sorts of different reasons, from addictions to insecurities, different hurts. Just kind of depends. There's a range of everything, but it's like a 12-step Christ-based program. In my life, I would say in the last year, I probably hit one of my lowest points, and resulted in some pretty significant moral failures. And so, kind of working through that recovery. My family's working through that recovery, and it was really interesting. Last night, we were looking at this notion of repentance. Repentance being acknowledging that you've sinned, and basically turning and leaving that life of sin and turning to the Lord and pursuing Him. The material was kind of talking about how most of us enter some sort of recovery ministry to change the behavior, but we're not necessarily always entering the recovery ministry to kind of enter into a closer relationship with the Lord. And it also talked about, whenever we have, significant moral failures or whatever the case may be, whatever you're there for, recovery for, a lot of times you're more focused on the pain that you cause others. Any sorrow that you have, is usually towards the effect it had on others. But you're not always necessarily full of sorrow for the pain that you've caused the Lord. That was both of those things were kind of super convicting for me, right? Because I think that would explain my situation. You can ask anybody that's close to me, and I think that they would agree that over the last year that I've been in a posture of repentance. I've definitely walked away completely from some of the sinful and harmful behaviors that had plagued me for a long time. I've got, almost a year of sobriety from those things, which is, I'm thankful for. The Lord has blessed me in that area. But if I'm really honest, I don't know if I really am grieved by the fact that I sinned against the Lord, or if I'm more grieved by the fact that I hurt my family and hurt others along the way. And I don't know if I'm in recovery ministry for myself and those behaviors and reconciliation with my family and others, or if I'm pursuing recovery ministry to have a closer relationship with the Lord. And so, I don't have the answer for that. I want to have an answer for that. I've had, I guess what you could call, relapses in this area in my life. And I've had periods where I've done well, and I've had periods where where I've not done well, and I've had, unfortunately, those periods result in pretty significant moral failures that are just unimaginable to think about now. But I don't want to go back to that place, right? And I feel like, you know, if all I care about is recovering from, you know, this latest relapse, if all I care about is healing wounds of my family and my friends and others, you know, I'm not sure it's going to be a lasting recovery for me. And so I'm really desperate to get to the point where I really am seeking recovery, to have a deeper relationship with the Lord. And I'm also seeking repentance, not because it's going to bring me reconciliation with earthly relationships, but seeking repentance because I'm grieved by the fact that I've sinned against the Lord. I'm thankful that He loves me. I'm thankful that He has forgiven me. I'm thankful that others have forgiven me or are in the process of forgiving me. So yeah, I don't really have an answer. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I'm sure some of you can relate. But I want desperately to grieve the fact that I've sinned against the Lord. And I want desperately to enter into a close relationship with Him that I get to experience every day for the rest of my life. And I know that if that's my focus, it's going to result in me having lifelong success in these areas. And it's also going to result in those relationships being healed as well. So, don't know where you guys are. We all deal with stuff. Nobody's perfect. The world likes to characterize sin. Jesus doesn't. We're all sinners in need of grace. I'm thankful that I've received that from the Lord and from others. But I want to do recovery for the right reasons. I want to further my relationship with the Lord, and I'm just trying to figure that out. So, hope you guys have a wonderful day.